So sorry, guys.
Hello?
So sorry, Leo. I was rushing to charge my system before it went off. So yeah, you have co-host permissions now.
All right. Thank you. Okay, guys, welcome. Sorry for the delay. Sorry for the delay. So we have a lot to cover today. So I may not do recap of, and I believe we were all here yesterday. I I I want to assume that or believe that we were all here yesterday. So we have a lot to cover. All right. So as you can see, this is where we stopped yesterday. I didn't. I promised not to do anything, and I did not, even though I was tempted, but I did not. So this is where we stopped yesterday, and let's continue from where we stopped quickly. Okay, I'm not done arranging this stuff because um not yet okay in terms of arrangement. The, the Let me quickly arrange it. You see, one thing you should also try to um achieve in your design is consistency. Let everything be consistent. For example, the space in between the theme and this cash prices should be the same with the space between this group and the date. What I mean is, let me quickly show you this cash price. Okay, that's the layer. All right. But before that, there's something I want to do here. See this winner compared to the first runner up and second runner up line of text is shorter. So let me make it a little bit longer so that it will look okay. Like, let me add winner goes with. So yeah, let it be that. Yes, we have similar lines of text. The length of the text is similar. Yeah. So that one will look odd and the rest will be looking so longer than the rest. So that's just what I want to do there. Okay. Then quickly, I'm still trying to arrange it. Still trying to arrange it. Okay. Then I'll press it. Okay. What happened? Okay. I'm using the wrong button. See that the space between winner goes with then and 500k is not the same with first runner up and 500k because they are not together. So you might want to keep that in mind. They're not together. So don't make them look as if they're together to confuse your viewers or or your audience. You know? Just some little details and then we are done. We have to cover now. We're going to group all this together because they are one. Look, I'll group them together because they are one. When the date. The date will be the same space with this cash price and same space with this one here. So it will be the same. So as to maintain consistency, you have to be consistent in everything you do. Let everything be let it be consistent in your design overall. Your overall design. And then this free registration, let me see, what is that? All right. I'll group them together so that they'll be the same space. Photoshop has a automatic smart guide where is by default it has it. So if you're moving things around, you see it. It has magenta color with this color here. That's automatic smart guide. Trying to watch closely. Space between this and this, the same with this and this. So, let me just quickly wrap this thing up. I think that's sorry, Tom. Let's increase this thing a little bit. I want to increase it a little bit. Is the name of the company, so it should be thin, but not. I think I'll change it. I'll change the font of it. There's that. That's the popping. Something. Okay. It's a little bit. I'll give it medium bold. Medium, yeah. Not too bold. Just medium. All right. I guess okay, that's all for the arrangement. That's all. Go. Let's move on to the next thing. That's my picture. Where's the picture? Okay, the picture. Wow. Who did I shoot this picture? I think it's on desktop. second somewhere get this picture. Let's get down with pictures. Okay, I think Pinterest document, another document, document Photoshop. Sorry, I'm coming. I'm trying to open the picture with Photoshop. So that I open as a new document on Photoshop. Okay. Alright. Yeah, we have the picture. Alright. So this is going to be hard. Everything is going to be hard. So let me see automatic select in version 2019 and above. Photoshop has auto select subject that can that's this AI that selects subject automatically. Look at it. Let me use my auto select subject. And select subject. Let's see the result if it's okay. Okay. Wow. Sorry, my system is lagging. I'm I'm running so many application at once. Yeah, selection. Mm, the crop this thing out before now. Oh, sorry about that. I should have cropped this out before now. But what can't find to select? It might be not enough edge contact. Okay, done. I think it made a pretty good selection. Yeah, that's actually very good selection. Sometimes it does a good job, sometimes it does not, depending on the image and depending on the contrast between the image and the background. So I think this one is okay. This one is okay. there's I want to max this out of I think I'll just crop this thing out when it's maybe another class for selection and editing images. I'll let you know that. Let me just copy it. It saves time. And I'll drag it to my server design. Next is each time you drag things like this, you want to make them smart objects so as to retain the quality. Just right click on the layer and smart object so as to retain the quality when scaling. Not complete the request. Convert to smart object. Alright. So it's not smart object. So you can retain the quality of the picture when scaling. But obviously we need to scale this down. Yeah, we need to scale this down. Somewhere like this. But, okay, that's enough for the arrangement and all that. Now let's do some next step is to work on the background. It cannot be plain like this. Looking at our mood board again, look, virtually all of them with their backgrounds are interesting, not that plain. So we're going to work on this background. I will select all the layers. I will click on the down layer, then go to the top, hold shift, select all, group all, and hide it. Right. So that I can let me move this guy. So select guy. Select guys. All right. Now we know that mostly they are black. The colors there is black, gold, red, maybe some blue. But we are sticking with black, gold, and probably the color of of our dress, the image dress. So we are sticking with the color. Let's just do something here now. We're going to fill this place with black. Just come to this down panel. There's adjustment tab here, adjustment layer here, then solid color. Let's fill it black or gray. Just black. Let's go with black first. And I'm going to import some textures here. I'm not going with pattern, I'm going with texture. You can go with pattern if you like, but I'm going with texture. Here's my load. It's a logic. or reduce the path. So it's not too, just solve it a little bit. Uh, maybe, okay, I think I'm going to add page at the back. Let me share my browser. Let's find page online. See, in process of designing anything, or let's say flyer, you are going to make use of you're going to download some resources on net, rather than create them yourself. You're going to download them on net, and some you cannot even create them, like pictures, except you want to shoot your pictures yourself. Fine, but if you don't have the luxury and time for that, you have to download it yourself. You have to download it from the net. You have to download. Oh, my system is lagging badly. Excuse me, doing this. Why is it lagging so bad? Just go stage. Hmm. Yeah, let's close it out. Close it, close it. Wait, you say you have missed logic to network. Is it from me or from your end, Adewale? Is it from me or from your end? I'm trying to look for stage to download. So I have to put in at the background. I don't like how plain that back is. Stage backdrop, something like. Let's see, let's see. Come on, this one. This one I saw right now. Okay, okay. We didn't do much actually. I just arranged the stuff, and then I got then I imported the texture, and now I'm looking for stage at the background. Who else is having this network issue? Two people are complaining of the same thing. Who else? I'll go with it. Let's go with it. This signs on free pick. You can get some free resources here. Mine is good. Okay. Sound good. Let's go with this one. Downloading. Downloading. Okay, downloaded. Somewhere like this. What I did there is I reduced the opacity or transparency if that is what you are used to. But on Photoshop, it's called opacity. And I'm going to create a layer mask. You know what layer mask is? I don't know if you are aware of what layer mask is. If you know what layer mask, with this layer mask now, I can delete some part of this image, and I can still come back to it. Okay, you know what layer mask is? Maybe for the sake of those that don't know, I can this layer mask by the side of it. I can use my brush. Where's my brush? With look at this color here, black as my foreground color. I can use it to delete some part of this um some part of this image. The good thing about layer masks is that they are non-destructible. You can, if for adventure you realize that oh you shouldn't have deleted this part. Some somewhere else you want to delete, you should have deleted. Then you can come back and delete the layer mask, and the picture will still be delete layer mask, and the picture will still be intact. And then you create another layer mask again. So that's why that so that if not, if you delete some part of the picture on the picture itself, you may not be able to come back to that picture again. So that's why layer marks are there. I want to delete some part of it here with my brush and black as the foreground. Black, white reveals, black hides the color. If I paint with white now, it will reveal back the place. If I paint with black, it will hide it. The white reveals, black hides. Let me yeah, I think Just want only the curtain, the front of the curtain to be visible, not the back, not the inside. It's just the front. Yes, the color of the image can be changed, but it's going to be a complex thing because right now I'm not sure we're going to change the image of the color. Instead, we're going to change other color to match the image color because it's complex. If I because the image, the said image, the image has this the color of the image itself and the clothes, they are similar. So if you're touching the color of the clothes, you automatically touch the picture itself. There's a way you can go, but it's to take our time to start explaining it. I think this color is fine. I imported a picture. Yes, I want to be in front. And it at the back. And I put it at the back of this curtain layer. Wow, I like how it's looking. I love how it's looking. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Can we go with this? Let me see one more thing. If you are designing, try to make your background more interesting. Although it depends on the on what you are designing actually. There are some designs that don't need interesting background like that. Some designs, plain background is okay. Designs like corporate design for an organization, company profile, those designs, you don't need flashy things. You take note of that. You don't need flashy things. Just keep it plain and simple. I know I said we are not going to use pattern, but I saw this pattern and I'm tempted to use it. I love this pattern. I'm going to change the color. I duplicated the pattern and then I want to make them as one layer instead. I just select both layers, right click on any of the layers selected, merge layer. So now they are now one. I will change the color of the pattern I dragged inside. Hue and saturation to change color. Remember, hue, color, saturation, intensity. And then this lightness is value. How light or dark that color is. I'm going to clip it to this layer, the pattern layer itself, because if not, it will affect other layers underneath. So I'll clip it this sign here, or hold your hot. If you hold your hot and drag your cursor from this, because you see that there's an arrow look there. Once you click on it, to clip on clip, or just right click on the layer. It's clipped already, release clipping mark. Right click on it now, create clipping mark. So that's 3 ways you can do that. Yes, it downloaded stuff. Please, do me a favor. If you can get a pen or paper, jot down your questions. Let me move. I will explain why designing. I'm not that time to answer questions, but I will give room. I will give room for the question at the maybe 30 minutes before we close. What I'm doing here, I'm not touching the color again. I'm increasing the lightness. Then I will now reduce the opacity of the layer itself, not the adjustment layer, the pattern layer. Reduce the opacity. Just a little bit. And I think I'm going to create a layer mask and delete some parts. It's not too visible, but just subtle, just a little bit. That that can change your overall look of design, like just a little bit. And then I think let's be done. Okay. One more thing. I'm going to change this image I brought in that has this light on top here. I'm going to change it because I'm going to change it to gold so as to match our overall color that we're sticking to. We're sticking to. Hue and saturation again. Clip it to the layer and then your hue. Change the hue. Notice how it's looking. Yeah. Okay. Before and after. A little bit gold. I added a little bit gold there. Before and after. I think I can do that for the cotton too. Change the clip. What I'm doing is hue and saturation adjustment layer. Clip it to the layer we want to affect. I'm changing the cotton color to gold. Then I think I will reduce the saturation a little bit. It's too saturated. Let me see if I can increase the lightness. All right. Okay. Yes. 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 Okay. Maybe to the opacity a little bit of the cotton. I don't want it to take the whole attention. No, our text effect is still coming up, so you have to keep that in mind. So I will select all the background stuff I did, select all, group them, and I'll name them. I will rename them BG, short form for background. So if I click on the eye dropbox, yeah. All right. Yeah, I've I've turned on my all the rest of the text. I'm going to delete the group of the text because I want to select the text individually. I'm going to delete the group only, not group or content, group only. So now let's change the color. Let's start by which one first, which one. Let me have this picture. It's not looking fine. Drafting. Okay. Let's change this one color first to white and leave it so that everything is visible. Everything that's the right. So I'll select all at once so that it will not be between what do I need to Hmm. My system is lagging so bad. Let's focus on the thing. That's because that's the color we use for some of the text. Let's focus on the thing first. First, let me change the font for the thing. Do I have any font in mind? Try this font. Any font? Right. Try. Let's some people font now. This thing now. Looking for font. I don't remember some of my fonts, so I'm looking for them. Hmm. I like this one. FC Barcelona. Yes, funny. FC Barcelona. Let's do this one. You can do two things. You can go online and download text effects. Yeah, there are free text effects for you to download, and then you can modify the look a little bit, or you can create it yourself. The Photoshop has 3D section where you can create 3D text if you know how to do that yourself, or you can do it manually by duplicating the image, making it look as giving it shadow, making it look as if it's 3D and stuff like that. It's a long process. I think I'm going to stick with using text effects. I have some text effects on my computer. Let me see if the one I have can fit in our thing here. Here's the text effect, okay, text effect. Cinematic 3D. No, no, cinematic 3D, no. What's happening? So what am I doing? I'm looking for the text itself. Where is it? I'm just going to switch. Okay. I'm going to switch to downloading it. I'm going to stick to downloading text itself because I don't have anyone that's suitable for this thing. Hmm. There's some text effects on critics. Anything text effects, you your best bet is critics. They have good text effects. Something like this. Something like this. Tiny. I had this thing before, not in the mm, so I think all these are premium text effects. Okay, three for premium members. Yeah, these are premium text effects. You have to pay some amount of money to get it. There are sites there's some places you can get free text effects like free pick, like the name implies, free pick. So something something. I think I have some film, something shine. Hmm, where is that in? Yeah, you can spend hours here and you not even see what you want. You might end up spending some hours here and see what you want. Like, No. Okay. This is what we can do. Yes, we can do that. But then we have to, yes, we can download a good pattern. Yeah. Yes. Thanks for the suggestion. Let's try. Let's try. Please download a good pattern. Good pattern. Pattern. Good pattern background. Click it there. No, the one there. Okay, I think this one looks good. This one looks good on this PNG3. You are entitled to download one a day, else except you're a premium subscriber. If you are not, you just want a day. Repeat PNG3. How about it now? I use this like we have every everything just popping up in this site. Wait. Oh no. Only one of these. Okay, downloading. Downloading. Yeah. That's downloaded. Let's go back to it. Let me just share my entire screen. Would that be okay? Just share my entire screen. So that anything I'm doing is oh, wait. So I'm sharing my entire screen. There's a bar up here from Zoom. You can see it, Abby. Can you see it or it's just black you're seeing? Somebody should help me out, please. It's covering this is black. It's covering this Photoshop section. Okay, let me just change this back to only Photoshop. Wait, that means it has been black all this while, and nobody cared um to, to bring it to my attention. Ah, since today or since when you started, I don't know.
Okay, can you hear me, Leonard?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so it's what you're searching that's covering, since you're sharing screen. So what you're doing on your screen is so it's appearing black. to every other person.
There's a bar from this Zoom app that is showing me chats and security. That's what is covering that part.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
could you stop sharing and try to start sharing again? It wasn't always showing before on the other days, so I don't know why it's happening today. So stop
Okay, let me
sharing and
stop.
start sharing again. Yes.
Okay, go. So, let's bring. So for our clip, sorry, for our clip is another software language. Yes, clipping mark. Clipping mark. Yes. Now we're going to make this thing separate from the background. Let's see if we can duplicate it first. Then we can make it look like 3D, kind of 3D. Wait, before that, let's go back. I will increase the space, the line spacing. It's too close. If we make it 3D, it's going to be too close. That is 65. Okay. Yeah. Then duplicate the thing. Drag it back. With dark portion of that this color here, the color, the gold color. I'm using this dark valley. Dark valley area. Okay. You might want to look back at your mood board and see how to get your own 3D. Okay. Well, we're going to apply shadow. Yeah, we learn every day. We learn every day. Yes. So this FX like there, I want to change it. I want to add drop shadow at the duplicated one, the one at the down, not the one with the flip with the gold. This no, the one at the down. Distance to separate it from the background more. Yeah, separate from the background more. I think I like how it's looking. Okay. I said we are going to use the dark portion, but I didn't stick with the dark portion again. I just go with the lighter one, and I think there's something I'm going to do here. I will duplicate the pattern and clip it to the one below. It's the same, right? Okay, then I will see if I can adjust the side so as to give you that 3D look. Adjust the pattern the way it is, so that and see if you can reduce the opacity a little bit. Trying to achieve that 3D look manually. I think this is okay. This is good. This is good. Okay, this is good. Let's just stick with this. Okay, let me group everything so that it's the one and name it maybe thing. Then this beauty essence, eliminating beauty essence. Can I break this word? Can I? Okay. I don't like how long it's looking. No. So let's just reduce it. Reduce it a little bit. Change the color to a lighter gold. I don't like it. If it's too saturated, you can change the saturation. Yeah. All right. Other details. Let's see. Then let's go with it. I use the color on the background, the background color for the lighter version of it. No, let me use the lighter version of it. Okay. Then the name of the company, I will change it to white. Let's pick the white. I think it's looking odd somehow. What from here now? You're going to be sticking to what looks good on your eyes, your eyes. What looks good? Too much. If I use white, it's not white. It's too shouting. Mm, Let me pick this color at the background. That's the constant. Let's leave that up. Then this cash price, that shape there will be good. Double click on the layer to bring out color properties. You have different type of gold here, dark gold and light gold. Let's see the one that is not too saturated and not too light either. Then change the text to black because white cannot be on top of yellow again. No, you can't have a bright color on top of a bright color. There will not there will be not enough contrast. Good. You want to try to make sure that there's no color riot in your design. Make sure that all the colors are similar. So I pick this shape, cash price color, and that's what I'm using here. Date, registration, registration. Then I think registration. Let's pick it white. Just changing the color. I'm not doing anything, nothing fancy here, just changing the color to suit the overall. What's something? This cash price is the background which they are on top. It's kind of distracting. So here's what I can do. I can just create a new layer on top of the background layer and then paint with black. Paint on this thing with black so that paint with black like this and then reduce the opacity so as to hide that effect at the back a little so that to make this writing pop up more. I can do that for the date too. The down part is too wide, so I think is that shape I brought. This shape where that is what is making it wide. I can just create a clipping mark, sorry, a layer mask by the side and delete the down part. Yes, delete the down part. This effect is too much. This effect to let's say 5. This texture. Or let me reduce the opacity. This opacity that is here, the one I select. My brush is active, so there's a opacity that pop up here is the one that's controlling the brush paint. While this one by this panel here is controlling the overall layer. So I'm using the opacity of the brush, so I want to repaint some of the down part I did clean. Not I don't want to clean too much. Yeah, to repaint it a little bit. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, this before stuff. Okay, I think I've gotten that. That's it. You can see all emphasis is on the down part, from this cash price down. The team is not really having that catchy look. So here's what I can do. Let's go on. So I have flare. I have flare. I have flare. Let me lens flare. For this type of design, is allowed. You can use effect. Anyone you lens flare. I have them shiny thing. Yeah. It comes with it came with a black background. So to remove this black background, just simply screen. Anytime you have something that comes with black background and you want that thing to be reviewed, just change it to screen. That's what screen does, blend mode. Change the blend mode to screen. Change the blend mode to screen. That's what screen does. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can change the color to be more gold. Saturation too much. Okay. Lightness, no. Lightness will affect everything. Very. Alright, let's see before, after. No, saturation is too much. Okay, before, after. Okay, better. This is a little bit. Just need a little because I want to duplicate it. Group it. I'll group the saturation effect on it. I'll group both of them around because I want to duplicate both. Duplicate it again and see if we can. Let's see. Not too much though. I can just experiment and see how it looks. Okay. I like it. I like it. Fine. I think lastly the picture. All right, the picture now. One, she's too bright, so we are going to apply some layer on top of it. Levels adjustment layer. Clip it to the image. Reduce the darkness, the luminosity to yep. Reduce the darkness a little bit. She's too bright. Okay, I think I can. She's too bright. Let's reduce the. The camera exposure that we got, the way the camera exposure is dark. It's a little bit old. Yeah. The color of our dress. Let's see if I can change the color of our dress. We can actually can. You on saturation. This hand here, you can touch it to indicate the color that is red. I mean, and if you are changing red, skin tone is red. If you are changing red, it affects the skin tone. It affects the skin tone. Definitely. But then we can clean it, the effect from the skin tone with black and opacity 100%. I think no, this is definitely going to waste our time. Here's another thing we can do. Let's go back to the background layer. There's that curtain. We can change the curtain to look like it entirely. To look like our model. Yes. It's not. Start doing that from painting those stuff. It's going to waste time. Or let's see if get we can get another model quickly. Where's our let's go with pixel pixels.com. Sometimes you're going to discover that what you download cannot be used. No, I can use it though actually, but if I start changing the dress and then removing the effect from skin, we're going to waste time. Yeah, and that's we don't have 30 minutes now. We're going to break in almost 30 minutes time or less than that. Yeah. So around 30 for Queen. Let's use a more simple picture, not too complex. Not too complex. Maybe if you go, maybe during the class for pictures and editing, you can get to know how to use complex pictures. Something like that. Let me put black screen. Black screen. No. One slash. Put it on slash. We're almost done. Sir. Black queen. I'm using the search word black queen. I think I've searched something like this before. And the result I saw, I kind of like it. Let's use this one. Mm. Mm. I skin with a black background. Very suitable. You can just remove the background a little bit and then you just picture it. Better than what we were using before. Just delete the layer back. Uh, I change the blend mode to screen, and the effect of the background is affecting it. I think it's okay for it to affect, and I can just change the color. Let's apply color balance on it. Then apply a little bit of yellow and red. Yeah, just before and after. Okay, better. That's okay. I think we're done with this one. Just something I'm missing. Looking for interest. Okay. I think you're done with this. And I'll just make this age a little bit bold, semi bold. Yeah, semi bold. We're going to enter because I'll reduce the about grouping. Okay. Find it different. Let me increase it. Let me make it semi bold. Semi bold. Okay, okay. This image, this image is a little bit bright, too bright. Can reduce the flip, can reduce the brightness a little bit. Yeah, too bright. Luminosity. Yeah, reduce it. Okay, we change the search. Let me go to the size number. Let me go to the number is 5. So anyway, changing to the I can already different for everything. And just trying to finish the I'm grouping this type of work. You're going to be creating group. I'm grouping winner goes with 500K. I'll still group first runner up and the 300K. So that I don't want to move them again. So individually, I want to move them as a group. So that I can group the three together. All right, looking nice. Think you think we are done. This let me change this. Don't want it to be too visible at first glance. No, we want them to find this link. Yes, because that's what they will need to register. Don't make it all too visible like that. Too um we can create we can add some sponsor logo at the top at the down part here. So we can do that. I'm not sure we can do that now. Then to wrap it up before we go for break, this is what we're going to do here. Let's make sure that they are all in the margin. We should have done this before starting. I didn't take note that actually when I was starting, yes, it's good to it's a good habit to cultivate. It's good to cultivate the habit of using your margin, setting your page margin, define your page margin so that everything you are doing should fall within that margin, not outside the margin. These things are not aligned, and so to know which of the elements are aligned properly. This is what I want to do here. Go to view, new guide. I need. Let me try 5% and see 5% vertical. 5% vertical is too small. Too small. New guide 10%. Let's do it 10%. It's too much. I think we can fix 8% or so. 8%. Yes, 8% better. So we are going to do the same for the other one. That's what I'm doing right now. The page margin, that's what I'm doing right now. 8% away from left to right. 0 to 100. Left to right, 0 to 100. I think up to down, 0 to 100 to vertical and horizontal. So I use 8% so that the new guide. 8% vertical, that is 8% away from the beginning. Then I'm going to do the same for the ending. 8 minus 100 will be 92. So we're going to do 92% start to get the same margin at it. So this is what we have here. I'll do the same for the horizontal new guide. Click on horizontal, then 8%. G. Where's our link? Where is our link? What did you do? I want to delete the link. Ah, by mistake, I want to delete the link. Yeah. Okay, I'll do that again. 8% vertical, then 8%, no, 92%, 8 away from 100 will be 92. See vertical. Now, you can use a different value for the up and down. It's not more like to be the same. Not more like to be the same. You can use different values for the up because we use that validate. Because we start adjusting what we have done. Let me see. Let me see. Horizontal. Next. I'm trying it down part there. We start adjusting what we have done. No, let's use a different value. Let's go with 5 for the horizontal, 5%. Yes. Then 5 away from 100 will be 95% for the down part. Okay, so let's adjust this thing. This the company name starts from the page margin here. And then the down part, the link here. So yeah. Now this side, this left side, you can see that this is not really aligned. It's, now this way everything is aligned to the left properly. The space should be sort of same. Like space, this space, I don't get this space. So we are officially done. Are we? We are officially done. Uh, this part now, you can if you think you are done, if you think you are done, you should just give you just take a break. After you've done everything, you just take a break and see. Go with close the document, do something else, then come back. You come back to it and see. Then you look at it from another perspective to see if actually there's something to add. Okay, I think question can come in now before we go for break. Then after we come back from break, we can see accept questions. Question can come in now. I guess we are done. I don't feel like this thing is kind of easy. Let me look at it from another. Okay, raise hand. Okay. Olusegun, you can ask a question. You can ask a question. I think this light here is blocking this A. Now we can look at if it's A from afar. Let me go back again. Look at the A very well. That light is blocking this A, last A. Blocking it. You can put it somewhere here. The age. Let me try something. Let me try something. Let me try something. Let me try something. This is going to make it different. Yeah, it made a difference. It made a difference. I think I like it now better. My question is, how do I get the video for today's class? If I should chill on the video, or how do I get? They will send them the link to you. They're processing the video. Please have patience on that. Exercise patience. Please, no more question concerning the video again. Please. Let them take their time and get it, process the video and all that. Please. Can you do a quick reminder tutorial on how to start designing on Photoshop? A quick reminder tutorial. I'm coming to your question, please. So how did you add texture to the background, and can texture be added to the model image? Your question. Let me start with the last question. Can texture be added to the image? Yeah, there's some image that our main focus here is not the image, it's the message we're trying to pass across. We're just using the image to just to enhance to make our communication better. You're just using the image to complement our message, our design, image of a model. And this event is called Miss Aurora, an event, a beauty pageant event. So definitely you are going to need a model, a lady. So the focal point is not the image. So you can just edit the image a little bit. Adding texture to the image is not necessary in this design right now. It's not necessary. So add the texture to the background. Is the texture still visible? That's the thing. Because I've used something to cover it. Let me take the texture again. I just dragged the texture. The name of the texture is Black Road texture. I think I downloaded this thing from Unsplash. Yes, I get to. There's some design that the image is looking very detailed. And the image is more pronounced. The image is more pronounced, yeah, than this. This is just small. The image is more pronounced, more emphasized, and then the editing and all that, painting and all that. Yeah, you can do that for another for something like this. You can do that, but the layout we stuck with the layout we went with. I mean, does not require our image to be pronounced like that. We want to drive home this theme, and I'm going to increase this theme a little bit too. It's too small. I'm going to increase it. So yes, you can add texture to image. You can there are image texture. You can add it, and then you can use your camera raw to edit the image, add texture to the image from your camera raw, then do some image editing. Yes, you can do that. But for this one we are doing right now, it's not necessary. It's not necessary. is because you are new to Photoshop. Yes, it's because you are new to Photoshop. That's why it's difficult. Photoshop is um in my own term actually uh difficult to learn but easy to master. It's difficult to learn but easy to master. The interface of Photoshop is difficult to learn, easy to master. The- I think when I was starting Photoshop, it was very, very complex. I just it was complex too, but now it's not. It's like nothing to me. It's too easy. Like just um, my advice would be um, stick to this lesson because I'm also explaining some of the interface of Photoshop to why we are at it on this lesson. So you can learn how to you can learn the interface of Photoshop from this lesson, this training that we are on now. So it's not that difficult to do, but it looks difficult, but it's not that difficult. It's difficult to learn, but if you learn it, it's easy to master. So let me go back to that Ogechi question. All right, tutorial. Okay, Ogechi, is this your question?
Yes, yeah, my question and maybe more clarity to it, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I know you've been teaching us on this platform, and one can pick, right? But may I ask that you're more deliberate, knowing that not all of us understand Photoshop, so that would help
Okay.
us to pick the various features that you're using, right? So think about it. Okay, I'm new to
Okay, yeah,
Photoshop.
you see, okay, I need to Photoshop. All right.
Yeah, so if I'm starting to design on Photoshop, what is the first thing I need to do? What are the basic things I need to do? At least if you're able to teach us that, other ones we can learn on the go. Thank you.
All right. Okay, okay. Okay, it's 3 minutes for. It's 2 minutes to your break. I think when we come back from the break, I'll talk on that after the break. This is just 2 minutes now, so after the break, we'll talk about that because there's nothing more to do here except just maybe few touches here, just to enlarge the thing a little bit, stuff like that. So when we come back from break, it's 2 minutes to break. So it's just again. You know. Just adjusting the transition a little bit. Uh, oh yeah, it's time for break. You can go for your break right now. You can go for your break. Me too. Let me. I'll see you guys by 4 o'clock. Yeah. For now, goodbye. All right. Okay. So based on what you said, how to design for Photoshop, right? The interface. Yeah. Um, I won't advise you to start learning what this tool. For example, there are a bunch of tools here, ranging from the first one, stick tool, then to rectangle selection tool. Then we have the what is this one? We have lasso tool and some of the rest tools that I won't advise you to start learning this tool, like what they are used for, what they are not used for, because most of them you will not use, you won't use all of them in your design. It depends on the part, what you're doing actually. You know, Photoshop as a whole is designed for not for some like for a variety of artists. You have designers, graphic designers, you have photo editors, then you still have you can even use it for video editing. So some of the tools as a designer, you may not use it. Instead of learning the tools, I would advise to learn what to know the tools that is required. Just like this design that we did from scratch here. And the tools I that we used, they are not much. We only use pick tool, brush tool, maybe pencil. No, we know it's pencil. And we use the rectangle shape tool and some of the shapes here. So all this, what is tool does it require? What does it require? I'm coming to that. Um, so based on the design we are doing, the tools that we used, these are the design we do. These are the design that we did. We did not use much tools. So, and I think that is a good way to learn Photoshop and the tools. Doing design on Photoshop and explaining the tools that I'm using and what I'm doing. That's the way I think you can cope while learning Photoshop, because I don't think I can start saying you that okay, here we have files, then some of these things there, then edit some of the things here. It's the ones that are necessary based on what we are doing, because we are going to do a lot of things on Photoshop, ranging from design to photo editing to um, other aspects of design too. In the process of creating those designs, I'm going to be explaining everything I'm using that is necessary at that moment. That's the only way you can learn the tool, so that while you go to design your own, you can apply what you are being taught. You can apply it to your own um, situation. So I don't know if that or in case you missed what I said earlier, because I think I explained everything I was doing here, didn't I? Or if I didn't, then okay, I can take the few minutes we have now, because we are not doing anything again. I think we have done on this. We are done with this design right now. It's not looking too perfect, but now we are done for it. On this design, I mean, we are done. So I can just do a recap and explain what I did here again. Because after this lecture, after this class, right, your assignment will be to create something similar like this too. I'll give you the brief. I will send everything I use, every pictures I use there at the background, everything I did here. I'm going to make everything available, even the font name, font size. So I want exactly like this, exactly or more than this. That is what I want. So let me start from beginning right now to explain what I did here. I'm going to I'll start by hiding all the text I used here. Let's hide all the text. We are left with the background. All right, let's start with the background. Let me off everything. Okay. To download the app, is it just Photoshop? Photoshop, yes. Okay, the texture. I will explain that right now. As I'm doing a recap, I will explain it now. Now, just have patience and follow along. So download the app, is it just Photoshop? Yes, what I'm using is Photoshop 2022. You can, it depends on your system hardware spec. If you are using Windows 10 and you have a processor of i3 and above, you can download Photoshop 2020. And you have a 4 gig and above RAM, you can download Photoshop 2020. But if not, if your processor is not i3, if you're using core dual core, please stick with 2020, 2020, 2015, 2015, 2016, 2017. You can stick with that because your system will surely lag in the process. So let's go on now. Okay. You know, initially we had white background. Wait, what is this one? Initially we had white background, and then we want to fill this place with black. You can come here. You can as well just use your brush. This is the brush. Shortcut is B. B for brush. You can just press the B on the keyboard. Your brush should be active. You can use your brush, and then down here you see two colors, front and the foreground and the background. Foreground is the one in front, background the one at the back. By default, is always black and white. So you can click on any of the color and change it if you, depending on the color you want to apply with a brush at that moment. So I'm using, you can use a brush to paint black and paint the whole artboard or the whole page. You want to fill this place with black, you can do that, but that is the way, like, to save some valuable seconds, you can come to your layer panel here. We have some panel at the back here, some buttons at the down part here. From the top, from the right, I have delete button. Any layer that's active, you press that delete, it's going to delete that layer. Then coming back, I have layer, create a new layer, that's the button. Then I have group. If our adventure you select two layer, you select one layer, hold your control, select another layer, and you want to group them together. This is the button for it, group. You click on the group, it's going to merge those two in a group. Not merging them as one, no, put them inside a group. Or you can just press your keyboard, Control G. Or if you're using Mac, Command G. That's the group. Coming back, I started from the right. Coming back, you have your layer, adjustment layer button here. This adjustment layer, it has tons of effects you can apply to a particular layer, be it shape or image or anything, so long as it's a layer. That's tons of effects. We're working like Figma somehow. I don't understand you, Jumia. It has tons of buttons here. You adjustment layer. It has tons of adjustment layer you can use. But what we use there is solid color adjustment layer. Solid color. So it's going to automatically fill that page with fill our whole page with solid color. Any color we choose. White, any color we choose, going to feed the page. That's what solid color does. That's what we use here. I'll put it on back. That's what we use here. Then next, I imported a texture, black rose texture. I will make this available for you. I'm going to put everything in a file, in a folder, and I'll upload it to my drive, and then I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link so that you guys can download it and have it. So so that is what I imported here. Black rose texture. I'll put it on. For every layer, there are effects you can do to that layer. You can change the blending mode of that layer. You can change the way that layer appears, the transparency of that layer. Or in Photoshop, it's called opacity. How do you add or import anything? Just drag anything, drag it inside Photoshop. Okay, that's called gradient. If you want the background to have two different colors, right? Two or more colors, it's called gradient. We are not doing that now. So let's stick to what we did. Maybe some other class or some other time we are doing something else. We can go into that. That's called gradient. Just drag anything from anywhere, from your desktop, from your folder, drag it to Photoshop, and it will automatically be placed in your software. Then you just have to resize it if it's not full. Sorry about that, Adewale. So I changed the blend mode. Let me change it back to normal. And let me increase the opacity. So this is how the texture is. I changed the blend mode from normal to screen. From normal to screen. Notice how it looks. I think it looks virtually the same because it's just black and white, so it does not matter. But let me put it back to normal. Then I reduce the opacity, the transparency of that layer. I don't want it to be too pronounced. I reduce the transparency. You see it here by the side, by the adjustment by the layer panel side, opacity. You have two buttons there. You have two bar there, opacity and fill. Let's take with opacity. Some other time I will explain what fill is. I brought it from my desktop. You know, see it because I was only sharing my app, Photoshop app. I brought it from, just drag it from anywhere, drag it to Photoshop, and it will enter. It's not that difficult. Just drag it from anywhere. Can I share my? Okay, I'm sharing my screen and my entire screen. Just this. Where did I drag it from? Background. Okay. Patterns and texture. There's a black. This is, I dragged it from here, from this folder that I opened here. I dragged it to the Photoshop, and it automatically inside Photoshop, and then I scale it up. I I'm holding alt to scale from both sides. Like I said before, if you are using Photoshop 2018 and below, you will need to hold your shift to scale appropriately. For 2019 and above, you don't need to hold shift. It will automatically scale appropriately, so that you not scale this out of proportion. So that's what I did there. I'll delete the layer, this here, and I reduce the opacity to 10%. Let's stick with 10%. Then I brought in another what is it? Another picture. Let me delete this layer mask. These are the picture is original. These are the things. I brought in another picture. Then the color is red. I want to change the color to something gold, because it's gold we are sticking to. I want to change it to gold. Like I told you, to change color, difference in color is just hue. Let me delete this hue and saturation again. I'll create it again. I use my hue and saturation adjustment layer, the adjustment button again. Look at it in the middle of the whole button. Hue and saturation adjustment layer. Why? Because I want to change the color. This hue and saturation adjustment layer controls the color, the saturation, the intensity of that color, and the value of that color, how light or dark that color is. That's what the adjustment layer controls. The hue, color, then the saturation, intensity, less saturation. Why the lightness, the value, how light or dark that color is. Let me just refresh. Now I want this layer to affect only the layer under it. Now, as it is like this, it's affecting everything under it. I want it to affect only the one under it. So you create a clipping mask. This button here. Hope you can see my arrow. Can you see my arrow? Let me see. Yes, you can see the arrow. This button here is what you use to clip it to the layer below, so that it will affect only the layer below. That's what you use there. It's called clipping mask. Or you can right click on the layer, and then you see the option here, create clipping mask, to clip it to that layer under it. That's it, create the mask. Then I want to change the color to something gold. The value I use is +12 on the hue, +12. You can take note of that. So that's all. I deleted some part of this image I brought here by applying layer mask. Before the adjustment layer, there's a button that adds vector mask, layer mask. Layer mask helps you to this layer mask. You can make some changes to this particular layer, which is the picture, without actually destroying the layer, so that you can actually come back to it. If peradventure you change your mind, you can come back to it. That's why the layer mask is important. You can use then using your brush and layer mask active, not your layer, but layer mask active. If you look closely, there's a something like a wall around it. Then your brush active with black as a foreground color, not white, because black hides, white reveals. So I'm saying I don't know if I'm saying too much things here. There is too much for you to grab or so. I don't know. This layer, okay. Again. Okay. Oh, great. These are, let me go back. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. It's called adjustment layer mask. I mean layer mask. The button is after FX. That's the button. Layer mask. To add layer mask, with that layer mask active, you can make changes to this layer by deleting some part of the layer with your brush. That's what the layer mask is for. So that you can see that it's affecting only the layer mask. So that if peradventure you don't want to do this again, you don't want this effect, you don't want this, you don't want to delete. Okay, these are whose mic is on? Alevale, please off your mic and use the chat box. Don't worry. Let me wrap up this explanation. It's affecting the layer mask. So that if in case you don't want it, you can use your white as a foreground to review, to bring it back, to bring the deleted part back. That's what layer marks are for. You can make changes to the layer by deleting some part of the layer, and then it's a layer mask. It's a brush meant for deleting. Brush is not meant for deleting, but when your layer mask is active, brush is to delete. Yes, brush is meant to paint naturally, or by default, brush is meant to paint. Brush is meant to paint on the color that is active. But when your layer mask, that's why when this layer mask is active, the brush becomes like an eraser, like a delete button, like a delete. Brush becomes what you use to delete when layer mask is active. It's only apply. It's only affecting layer mask. So I hope that is taken. Okay, so I use my. I want to change this foreground to black. Change the foreground to background, then background to foreground. There's this arrow that is here. That's what you can use to change it. You can look at it, it's changing. Or alternatively, you can use your X on your keyboard. X, touch your X, it's changing. Changes. So I reduce the opacity of the brush. Once your brush is active, there is this property, brush property that comes up here. I reduce the opacity, the transparency of the effect that the brush will apply. I reduce it a little bit. I don't want that place to be completely gone. I just want some part of it to be gone, like not completely gone, like just transparently gone. That's what I did here. Then I imported our attendance link. Then I imported our what is it again? This cotton, stage cotton. Let me delete this this layer marks. These are the stage cotton is. Let me increase the opacity back. These are the stage cotton is. I just drag and drop it, and what I did, I scaled it to make it look like this. Then I don't want this back to be, I don't want the back to be visible. I just want only the front cotton to be visible. So I applied adjustment layer, that same button. Once the layer is active, press the button to apply adjustment layer. Then the adjustment layer, the layer mask, not adjustment layer, layer mask, sorry for that. I applied layer mask on it. with my then I use my brush to delete some parts. Remember, black axis, black is black hides, white is reveals. Now I will increase my opacity back. I want that place to be completely gone. Increase my opacity to 100. Then once you are is removing that part, using there's so many brush, but by default is soft prime brush. I set to change it. By default, it's always soft round brush. I just delete some parts of it. Delete that background of it. That's what I did. And then reduce the opacity. I reduce the opacity to about 30. I think it was 30%. 30%. 30, 35. 35, 35, 35. Then I want to change the color again, just as we did last time with the previous layer, hue and saturation. I apply the same hue and saturation with my, let me delete this hue and saturation layer. Apply the same hue and saturation layer with your adjustment layer button here, hue and saturation, to change the color and the please fill the form. Fill the form, please. Fill the form. Fill the form. 5 minutes for that, please. I'll pause. I'll just hold on a little bit. 5 minutes for that, please. Fill the form quickly. Quickly. Then fill your attendance link first. Then once it's, I'll give you 5 minutes for that. Or it's too much. Is it too much? 2 minutes. Just fill the form and click and reply done. Be fast, please. Quickly, please. Quickly fill your attendance link. Fill your attendance form and reply done, please, so that we can move. Nobody has filled his own. Come on, guys, let's be fast with it. Okay, thank you, Joshua. The rest, you guys hurry up. All right, Zoom here. Come on, guys, the rest, I'm waiting for you guys. Okay, Olusegun. Why am I calling Olusegun? There's a guy I know as Olusegun. That's why. Sorry, Olusegun. Okay, Adewale, thank you. Who are the rest of you guys? Okay, Chief, thanks. Quickly, guys, quickly. We don't have much time. We don't have much time. We are the rest now. We are the rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just 5 for 4. We are the rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, more than 5 here. Okay, 6. Two more. I take two more B. And just okay. Count. Okay, I just more B. Yeah, you are the only one left. One person I'll turn I can maybe person. Right.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. What did you say? What did you say? What did you say that this one?
I say you should fill the. Who is it? Who is it? Sorry, who is it? Okay, I say you should fill your attendance link, your form, please.
Okay.
Check the chat box.
Thank you.
All right, let's move. Let's move. So I applied hue and saturation adjustment layer here to I want to change the color. Remember to clip it to the layer below, because if you don't, it will affect everything under it. You can see that it's affecting both the gold lightning effect that was there. So remember to clip it to affect only the layer under it. Now I'm changing the color from. Wait, let me see. Sorry, let me do. Okay, what did I use there? The value is plus 14 minus 9 plus 25. Okay, I will delete it again. Or I will delete it again. Hue and saturation, flip it to the then the hue plus 37 to give you that gold color effect. I reduce saturation a little bit because I feel it's too saturated. So I reduce it to -9 and I increase the lightness to make it. I increase the lightness a little bit. That's what I did here. And then what is this? Pattern. Some pattern I imported. It's not that visible anymore. The pattern I imported, I just dragged it to the place it entered. Then I use the same way, apply layer mask with this button, and then use a brush to delete some. That's all. And then I change the color with hue and saturation. I did not change the color, sorry. I changed the lightness. Look at what I did here. Is only I increased the lightness to change it from purple to white. And then I reduce the opacity to 2%. To make it just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. Yes, I had part of my system. No, I downloaded it. Sorry, I downloaded it. I will make it available. Everything I use there, I will make it available. So that's all for the background. I hope you are able to get this. I hope you are able to get this. Then that's all for the background. Then before we started changing the color of the text, not to change the color of the text to suit the background. Change the color of the text. You just have to select the text opacity. I told you before, by default, this thing will not be here. This text opacity may not be here in some version. You just go to your, sorry. You go to your Windows and click on character. Once you click on character, it will come here automatically. Here you have everything concerning text. Everything concerning text is here. But what we are doing here now is to change the color. Just change the color. Look at the color. And I guess that's all. I just change the color. Now let me go. Let me go to the theme. What I did on the theme. So that's me. This is simple. I have so many groups here. I don't even know which one is which. Okay. Don't be like me. Always name your group so that you can know. Okay, what I did here, I ported a let me off this. I will release this clipping mark. This is what I imported. Let me avoid all those lights. Light set I use. I imported a gold pattern. I will include this too. So to the folder I will send. You have everything you have it there. You have it. I imported on top of the Miss Aurora because I want to clip it inside it. So right click on it, create clipping mask, and it will clip on anything that is on top of it, or that is below it. So then I duplicated the Miss Aurora. I duplicated it. Let me off this thing. Let me off it. I will duplicate it again so that you can see. To duplicate your shortcut Control J or Command J if you're using if you're using MacBook. Control J or Command J. Duplicate it. Now you have a copy. The copy is the one that that gold effect is clipped on. Because if you duplicate something, it goes up, it comes to the top. So that what you click on the one that is down and bring it. I use my arrow button on my keyboard to shift it a little bit to adjust the position. That I brought it down. That's what I did here. Okay, I will get it online. It's online. I'll get it online now and I'll paste it on the group. The shortcut function, the button and all that. I'll get it online. I'll paste it on the group. So, and then I apply the same gold thing, the same gold effect. I duplicated this Control J, this gold effect. I duplicated it. Now, and then I brought it down to the other layer, the other Miss Aurora. Then I clip it on it, the one under it. Let me zoom in. You see that there's not much difference because they are both the same pattern, the same way it is. That I changed the position so as to change the pattern a little bit to give it that different look and to give it that like 3D form. And I reduce the opacity, not to be pronounced. I reduce the opacity a little bit. And I change the Miss Aurora color from white to one of the color on this gold something. Yes, that's what I did here. And then lastly, I applied a drop shadow under the last Miss Aurora there, the one under it, not the one on top. If you apply it on top, it's going to affect the one on top under it. So I applied the one under FX before your layer panel button. For your layer mask button, this FX drop shadow. click on drop shadow property. The blend mode by default is multiply. Leave it like that. You can increase the opacity a little bit. But we're looking at how it's affecting your work. Maybe let's stick with 53, and then I increase the distance. Distance is horizontal distance, the vertical distance, yes, from up to down. That's it. I increase the distance a little bit, and that's all. The spread size is 7, and that is what I did here. I think that it. Let me delete layer because I have it already. That's what I did here. That's what I did. I applied drop shadow. Then for the light effect, I will make that available too. Everything I use, I will make it available. For the light effect, I just brought a light I brought this is what I brought in here. The background is black. So take note of this to review the detail. All of it. So review the detail of. Okay. To review what is on top of a black black background, to remove the black background of anything, just change it to screen. That's what screen does. Screen removes the black and makes the white visible, and makes the light part of that content or image visible. That was screen blend mode. Yes, to change the screen. That's what it does. So there's a lot to learn in Photoshop. Yeah, you have blend mode, you have tools, you have all that. So learning this way, well, seeing it used practically, I think it helps better than telling you what this one does, this one does, without actually showing, without actually using it. So I just change the blend mode to screen, and I change the color a little bit, and the saturation, color and saturation, whatever looks good. You may not be it may not be exactly like my own, it may not go with the same value I went with, but whatever looks good in your eyes, just change the color and then the saturation. And then I grouped both of them, the light effect and the hue and saturation adjustment layer I applied. I grouped them and made them one group. Why? Because I want to duplicate it. So I duplicated it and then I used it, moved it everywhere. So that's actually what I did. Yeah. I don't think there's anything that is difficult. Hey, lastly, the background where this meets Aurora is, I think the background is affecting the visibility of that. Actually, it's affecting it by looking at it. I just painted a little bit red. I fixed. Let me off. This button before delete is to apply a new layer, to create a new layer that there's nothing on it. Now you want to put something on that layer. I use my brush and I hold Alt to pick the color at the background of it. I pick the color at the background of it. I think I used it now. Yes. And then I painted on that layer, under the thing. I painted on the layer, change the blending mode to multiply. Multiply will make it darker. That's what multiply does. Make it darker. Why screen we remove the dark part parts of it. So multiply, make it darker, and reduce the opacity a little bit. So I did the same for this side. I did the same for this side. This layer. Yeah, I painted it with black, with the color of the background. I painted it so as to make this right up here more visible. So see how attention to even to the tiniest detail matters. It matters a lot. You should, as a designer, you should be thinking about that a lot. Let your attention like be attentive to little details. They matter. They change. They affect the overall visual outlook of your design, and they make your work um, uh, more better. So that's actually what I did here. The picture that I brought in. Okay, the picture I brought in. Where's the picture? Where's that picture? Let me change it into a layer. This is the picture. The picture has black background. Same thing I told you about. To remove the black background, I just use screen, and that's all. The picture will blend with the background of our page. We make it blend with the background of our page. Then I applied. I applied levels adjustment layer. Levels controls the darkness, a light and how light and dark that image is. And then levels controls what we call luminosity, which is the up part of it. While the down part of this is the light, dark, and light. This is if you bring this here, you're making it darker. You take this up, you're making it lighter. So I just brought and made it a little bit darker, not too light. So it's not too bright. Then I increased, I tweaked the luminosity a little bit to apply more contrast to the image. This is before. A little bit. So this is before, this is after. So levels controls how bright that image is. You can use it to control the light and darkness of that image and the luminosity. And then I applied color balance. So I want to balance the color with the color of our overall design, gold color. So I color balance mid-tone. Just the mid-tone I touched yellow. I push the slide to -1. So the yellow part. Then I increase this up part to the red +10. So that's eventually it. Let's see the before and after. If I have it's looking like blue. That's this blue tone. Then there's more, just a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. That made a whole lot of difference. If you're applying any effect, just a little bit, not too much. So that's actually what we did here. I don't know if you're not clear or anything. If you're not clear, I think we'll meet in the group because we have just 8 minutes here. Or if you have any question that requires immediate answering, you can drop it. If you're not clear, again, we'll meet on the group, on the WhatsApp group. If you have question that needs immediate answer, you can drop it now. Don't forget, make sure that this thing, every content up here is aligned to the left. And for you to do that, just go to your new guide, vertical guide, 50% will bring that to the center so that you know that, yes, so that to guide you to place this on in the center. See your free transform and see. You're supposed to place this center. Make sure that everything is center aligned here up. If you are going for center align, make sure that it's properly center aligned. Right. Okay, there's a question here. If I import an image with background, do I have to right click on the image or the layer before it can show the function where I will change the screen? No, you have the function looking at you right on your, staring at you on your face. Or your once your layers are active, look at the layer panel here. You have it looking at you here. Blend mode is here, screen. Once your layer is active, your layer is selected, you can see that this screen here is showing the blend mode. This is the blend mode. Click on it and change the blend mode. This is normal. It's always normal. Once you import anything to Photoshop, normal. Then you click on that where you see normal. Change it to screen. If you want to go with, if you want to change it to screen, naturally. You have tons of blending mode here. There are different blend modes and they have what they do to a particular layer. So I've just showed you two, multiply and screen. Multiply makes it darker. Screen removes the dark particles of that layer. All right, that's taken. You also find opacity here to unfill. So this opacity of the layer, feel of the layer. I will let you know what it is later, subsequently, not right now. So let's what I use there is opacity. Opacity is affecting the visibility of that layer. Any more before we call it a day? Don't forget you're going to do this. Do this. I will send everything I use, everything I've seen, so I will send it. Every image I use, I will send it. And then, of course, if you are doing it, you're confused in somewhere. I'm not sure if the video will be available before then. So just try, give it a try. Do it. If there's any question, drop it in the group. I will see it and I'll respond to it. I'll respond to it. Okay. And okay, I will. Should I make it available? Okay, let me save it as JPEG. Let me save it. I've saved this document before, so I'm going to. I told you guys to stop asking questions about recording. They have asked this question before. You got exercise patient. They have come. This video is processing. So exercise patient with that. Please exercise patient. I'm not sure you're going to get the recording today. No, just exercise patient. But give it a try. I will send the picture. I'll export it as JPEG now. Hope you know what JPEG format of JPEG is. JPEG is the format of pictures. Or PNG or PNG, mostly transparent. Like image that does not have background, so that it converts to PNG. So I'm going to save it. I've saved it before, so there's no need to click. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save as, go to your file and then save as, or alternatively Control Shift S, Command Shift S, if you're using Mac. Then I want to save this in my desktop. Change the format from Photoshop format to JPEG. That's all. Choose where you want to save it to. Because I can see this, right? Because I'm sharing my entire screen. Yes, I can see it. Okay. Then choose where you want to save, change the format to JPEG, and then click save. Another dialog will pop up. Quality. Be looking at your size. So if the size is too much, you can reduce the quality to 2.1 MB. Fine. Then click OK, and it is saved. I'll drop it in the group right now. I'll drop it in the group right now. Where is it? Okay, it's 5 o'clock already. All right, thank you for joining to this class. See you next week, Monday. Ahead to submit this stuff, please, before Monday, on Sunday. Submit it on Sunday morning, so that I can review it and give you feedback in the evening. In the evening, I'll not be chance in the morning, so just submit it in the morning, so that in the evening, when I'll be chance, I'll look at it and I will get back to you. Yeah, you say, just give it a try. Look at the one I did and give it a try. Attendance link. Scroll up, you see the attendance link now. So let me copy it and send to you. Copy link. So we sent for the group. All right, see you guys. Let me take it back. See you guys on Monday or in the group. If there's any issue, just let me know.
All right, thank you. Bye, everyone.
All right, everyone. What about that?